May 13th, 2025. Outside Manhattan Federal Court, camera flashes blur into lightning as Cassie Ventura steps onto the sidewalk. Poised, silent, eyes locked ahead. Inside, Sean Diddy Combs waits at the defense table, a gray streak in his goatee and a tremor in his knee that even the tailored crew neck can't hide. How did the man who once bragged he was bad boy for life end up fighting for life behind bars? Keep watching. The receipts are wild. They called him Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Love. Names that print money. Back in the 90s, he spun Harlem Hustle into Bad Boy Records, resurrected Biggie's Thunder, launched Sean John and Karak, and flexed on Forbes lists like it was cardio. To every kid with a dream, he was the cheat code, swagger, strategy, and an aura that made rumors bounce off like confetti. But where there's non-stop champagne, there's always a back room. And whispers about what really went down once the velvet rope snapped shut. Those whispers carried one name louder than the rest. Cassie. 19, doe-eyed, and newly signed in 2005, she orbited the mogul for 11 flashy red carpet years. Word was Diddy showered her in diamonds. The hidden price was control. Private jets came with hidden cameras, studio sessions with mandatory party favors, and the secret freak-off gatherings anyone invited could never unsee. Nobody outside the inner circle had proof, until a lonely hallway cam at LA's InterContinental snapped on March 5th, 2016. The grainy clip stayed buried for 8 long years, but when CNN leaked a 48-second supercut in 2024, the internet inhaled, screamed, and never exhaled. Diddy, wearing only a towel, sprinting after Cassie, tossing her to the ground, kicking, violence distilled and on loop. Combs jumped on Instagram with a half-tearful apology. I hit rock bottom. I'm disgusted with myself. Fans debated whether growth is possible, haters rallied, and PR gurus clocked overtime. Then poof, the video vanished, and the apology. His lawyers filed a motion claiming the footage had been sped up and resequenced and chopped to mislead, insisting the original 10-minute reel was lost forever. The court wasn't buying it. Homeland Security investigations weren't buying it either. In March 2024, agents in tactical gear raided Combs' L.A. and Miami mansions, pulling hard drives, iCloud credentials, and, according to prosecutors, hundreds of hours of explicit party tapes that prosecutors claim captured coercion, intimidation, and dizzying stacks of hush money. The indictment dropped like a mixtape you never wanted: racketeering, sex trafficking conspiracy, transporting individuals across state lines for illicit acts, witness tampering. Maximum penalty? Decades, maybe life. Fast forward to day one of trial, May 12th. The Southern District of New York's wood-paneled courtroom felt less like the Grammys and more like a high-stakes casino. Prosecutors, flanked by binders thicker than a Fashion Week Vogue, told jurors they would prove Combs ran his empire exactly like a criminal syndicate, rewarding loyalty, punishing dissent, buying silence. Defense counsel tried to counter with charisma, then asked for a bathroom break. Diddy confessed to the judge he was a little nervous. The internet devoured that micro crack in his megastar armor. But nerves weren't the only crack. Weeks earlier, the Dream Team had started to leak lawyers like a broken faucet. 20-year powerhouse firm at Grubmanshire, shaken by clients such as Lady Gaga threatening to walk ghosted. Anthony Rico, Diddy's only black attorney, bowed out under sealed reasons. Celebrity whisperer Mark Garagos hovered on jury selection sidelines but refused to officially sign. Behind the courtroom swag, the defense looked like a group chat that just lost its admin. Day 2, today, Cassie takes the stand in a cream pantsuit, no aliases, no voice distorter, just her name echoing over the hush. She recounts an early birthday kiss that felt magic, then details a relationship that slid from glamour to GPS trackers, forced hairstyles, and threats if she skipped events. She describes marathon freak-offs. 2-day ragers laced with party drugs where saying no wasn't an option. Diddy's eyes stay fixed on the table. Jurors shift in their seats, but nobody looks away. Her voice doesn't shake until she describes the hallway night. Then it cracks once, clears, and keeps going. Prosecutors let that moment hang, then cue the hallway video, full 10-minute version, not the clip. Defense objects, the judge overrules, screens glow. Viewers see the chase, the kick, but also the aftermath. Hotel security arriving minutes later, Cassie limping, Diddy waving them away with a tip thicker than a phone. In the gallery, one juror clamps both hands on the armrest. Cassie watches herself on screen, eyes unblinking. Defense pivots to their master plan. Doubt everything. They'll argue Cassie was a willing participant, cite texts where she calls him babe, highlight her NDA payout, claim the parties were consenting adults exploring extremes. When those arguments wobble, they'll play the diminished capacity card. Diddy was too high on his own product to form criminal intent. Legal analysts say that plea rarely lands. Juries see it as I was too lit to commit RICO. But desperate times, right? Outside the courthouse, Hollywood is sweating. Names like Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, and Kanye West floated in pretrial chatter. They're not charged, yet subpoenas can blast reputations faster than a diss track. Industry insiders whisper about NDA-protected VIP rooms, hotel invoices, private jet manifests. Everyone's people are calling everyone else's people, asking, do we appear in those tapes? One rumor says hotel staff pocketed 6 figures to deep freeze the 2016 footage. If that payoff links to bigger wallets, expect late-night docuseries by summer. Meanwhile, the jury questionnaire pulled no punches. Are you comfortable viewing graphic sexual material for evidentiary purposes? Can you remain impartial if witnesses describe drug use, violence, or humiliation? 45 New Yorkers said yes. 12 now hold Diddy's fate. The Southern District brags a 97% conviction rate, and prosecutors remind the press they've never lost a trafficking conspiracy case once trial starts. Stat sheets are destiny, but they loom. So where does it all land? If jurors believe Cassie, and crucially, those tapes, Combs could join the ignominious ranks of R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein, megastars toppled by the Nolan Me Too hammer. If defense plants reasonable doubt, maybe the freak-offs were edgy but consensual. Maybe the hallway incident was a one-off. They just might fracture the narrative enough for hung verdict territory. Insiders whisper Diddy rejected an 11-hour plea, offering a 10-year cap. Pride? Protection? Or is he shielding bigger fish who'd prefer discovery stay sealed? What's undeniable is the cultural aftershock. Hip-hop long-flexed invincibility, brushing off scandals as rival label gossip. Today, a different energy pulses. Artists tweeting number I stand with survivors, brand partners yanking sponsorships before closing bell, and fans dissecting old lyrics for red flags they'd missed. The world that once crowned, "Can't nobody hold me down," is now asking if it held victims down instead. Cassie steps off the stand, exhales, and for a split second her shoulders loosen as though the weight shifted to 12 strangers in the jury box. The prosecution ends the session with a tease. Tomorrow's witness saw what happened when NDAs failed. Court adjourns, reporters sprint for live shot spot, and Diddy walks out flanked by security, gaze forward, lips tight. He's still a master at performing unbothered, but the tremor in his knee, still there. The hallway video turned a mogul into an alleged predator. The federal indictment turned whispers into sworn testimony. Now the question isn't whether Diddy's legend survives, it's whether he does. Power can muffle rumors, but it can't mute a jury. And the next 8 weeks will decide whether America's most notorious bad boy finally meets a verdict he can't remix. I think he'll beat the odds. Or will the Southern District add another notch to its 97% belt? Sound off below, smash subscribe, and brace yourself. The testimony we haven't heard yet. It could blow the roof clean off. Stay locked.